Bodega, Part 23-Eenio. Bodega, said a voice, distant yet filled with menace. Wake up, you flarving piece of streff gobble. A hearty slap across the mush punctuated the command. Bodega was kneeling, his hands bound to his ankles. He was in a large oblong room, dark but for a spotlight on a metal stand. A metal table and a chair, both bolted down, were next to him. The walls and floor of the room looked like solid concrete, the strongest building material there was. No windows were visible, just a door that looked built to withstand the apocalypse. Bodega shook his head to clear it and peered up. Standing over him, leering, was the cold grey face of Krem Slumdump, dictator of the galaxy and head of the Federation. He was shorter than Bodega had expected, but powerful-looking thanks to what Bodega assumed were some hyper-expensive cyber mods, enhancing his strength and his mind. At his waist, a small blue box, a Shrovian personal shield, a real rarity and insanely costly. Just in case, huh? Thought Bodega. Just in case I had some kind of surprise for you, you miserable bastard. But Bodega didn't. He was stripped bare. Even his tooth implants were gone. His legion of weapons and gadgets removed. All that remained was his dignity, and that was slipping. Your lasgun, said Slumdump, producing it from a fold in his long black cloak, holding the weapon between two fingers like a soiled nappy. Such a waste of good technology, but I think it's time we bid farewell to this. He shook his head faux sadly and dropped it into a chute on the wall marked hazardous waste disposal. There, that's dealt with. I wonder, what good is a sniper without his famous rifle? A gun is just a tool, said Bodega, looking away. It's the man shooting it makes a name for himself. And my, how you've shot your little gun, said Krem, turning and pacing around the room. Lecture incoming, thought Bodega. You killed those poor people on Skirlia, destroyed a Fedorian installation, massacred a barload of people. There are more. Too many to list, said Krem. Some folks die, some folks live. Still don't mean much, does it, said Bodega. We have rules, Bodega, Krem spat, turning and admonishing Bodega with a hateful stare. The rules are there to protect people from villains like you. Who protects them from you, asked Bodega. We bring order to this chaos. Imagine a galaxy run by egotistical infants like yourself. People who kill over an insult. People who steal and cheat and lie and think they can blast off into the sunset and never get what they deserve. Them poor people on Skirlia was smugglers, said Bodega. Oh, really? said Krem, feigning curiosity. He cocked his wrist, revealing a datapad implant on his forearm, and tapped a few buttons. A hollow projection showed the faces of the men and women, each marked with the words deceased, murdered in red. These are the faces of the so-called smugglers, students at a local school, out for a day trip to fly remote-controlled aircraft of their own design. Bodega winced. Can't be. The information he got was from a reliable source, body part smugglers on Skirlia. And here, this is the list of people murdered at the Pulsar Sex Pit, a bar as I understand it. A birthday party. Only one survivor, that idiot Tan Blatchman. He told us the whole story. It was a setup. Self-defense, said Bodega with certainty. Then why did they have a special cake made for you, asked Krem, incredulous as he showed Bodega a picture of a cake with the words, Welcome back, Bodega. Tan says he's real sorry, iced on it. It looked like a pretty nice cake, too. And of course, let us not forget the 1,500 souls massacred at the Barakian Quanto hub. Over what, asked Krem. One of the, engineers, he stammered Bodega, shuffling from knee to knee uncomfortably. Had some pretty harsh words to say about the old Disco Volante. He insulted your ship. Is that right? asked Krem. He tapped the datapad off. Case closed. You're not some kind of vagabond hero. You're a criminal. A murderer, a thief, and a villain. And for people like you, very special kinds of people, I have a particular kind of punishment. Krem snapped his fingers, and an orderly entered the room via the reinforced door. The orderly was carrying a red box at arm's length, wincing as he placed it on the metal table. Your punishment, Bodega, is the red box, said Krem, smiling. He glared at the orderly, who scurried out. What's in the box? asked Bodega. Eternity, said Krem. He opened it and showed it to Bodega. It was just a computer console and a couple of wires ending in plastic discs. Here, sit on the chair, said Krem. He adjusted the tritanium cables holding his captive and helped Bodega to his feet, sat him down, securing the cables once more. He peeled a piece of backing plastic off the pads and stuck them on Bodega's temples. Then he knelt down next to the box and Bodega, close enough to smell his breath. This box is going to kill you, Bodega, but it won't be quick. Where you're going, nothing is done quickly. Krem ran his fingers along the edges of the box, fondling its intricate woodwork and its angles. You'll have time to savor every delicious moment of punishment. Time is what's in this box. Time as you've never experienced it. Hate as you've never known it. I built it myself, and now, finally, I have someone worthy of it. This ain't about crimes. This is about her, ain't it? Said Bodega, sneering. He caught the faintest glimmer of anger in Krem's otherwise passionless face. Krem stood quickly and reached into the box. He pressed a button, and Bodega's face and body went limp. See you in 10,000 years, Bodega, hissed Krem, looking at his datapad. In exactly 1 minute, the red box emitted a low tone and Bodega woke up. His expression had changed. His whole face had changed. Everything about him had changed. Bodega looked up at Krem, and all Krem saw was fear and confusion and terror. Again, said Krem, reaching for the box. Bodega let out a whimper, and then he went limp again. Barely 10 seconds had passed before the orderly sprinted back into the room. What? Screamed Krem. Sir, it's the home system, said the terrified orderly. What about it, man? Screamed Krem again. It's gone, sir, stammered the orderly. Krem froze and turned to look at Bodega, who was still slumped unconscious in the chair. Krem blinked 3 times before he finally turned to the orderly and spoke in a low whisper. Where is Majesta? To be continued.
To be continued.
Very
Man,
good.
I'll say it again, Flex. You have a gift, my friend.
We'll see.
You're pretty good.
Gotta wrap this puppy up in a good way.
Okay.